Jannah is that through dua. Dua has a very special position in Islam, and the more we do it, inshallah, the more we do it, hopefully Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept from us. So anyway, the author, he has a chapter, الترغيب في سؤال الجنة والاستعاذة منها, a book, والاستعاذة منها, a book or a chapter where we are encouraged to ask Allah for heaven and seek refuge in Him from it. وعن ابن عباس رضي الله عنهما, the cousin of the Prophet, peace be upon him, narrates, أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم كان يعلمهم هذا الدعاء كما يعلمهم سورة من القرآن. That the same way the Prophet, peace be upon him, used to teach his companions the Quran, as it is the greatest of speech. Abdullah ibn Abbas, he said the Prophet put the same emphasis on learning this dua. Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min adhab jahannam, wa a'udhu bika min adhab al-qabr, wa a'udhu bika min fitnat al-masih al-dajjal, wa a'udhu bika min fitnat al-mahya wal-mamat. That the Prophet taught us this dua is mentioned in the last final sitting of our prayer, the final tashahhud, after we read tahiyyat and salat on the Prophet. And there's other du'as, the dua of Abu Bakr, Allahumma inni zalamtu nafsi dhulman kathira wa dhulman kabira, and then Allahumma ighfir li ma qaddamtu wa ma akhartu, dua ibn Abba. Anyway, there's different du'as, but this dua is very meritorious to say at the end, before we do Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. We say, "Oh Allah, I seek refuge in you from the punishment of the hellfire, and I seek refuge in you from the punishment of the grave, and I seek refuge in you from the tribulation of the Antichrist, Masih al-Dajjal, and I seek refuge in you from the tribulations of life and death." So this shows us the Prophet encouraged the Ummah, his followers, the believers, to seek refuge from the hellfire. And then there's another hadith from Habiba, the wife of the Prophet ﷺ, who is Ramla bint Abi Sufyan, the daughter of Abu Sufyan. She said, "Sami'ani Rasulullah ﷺ wa ana aqul." The Prophet heard me one day and I was making this prayer. Allahumma amti'ani bi zawji Rasulillah wa bi Abi Sufyan wa bi akhi Muawiyah. That, oh Allah, give me a long enjoyment, or give me more time with my husband Rasulullah and with my father Abu Sufyan, Sakhr ibn Harb, and my brother Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan. So the Prophet heard this, and the Prophet was a teacher, so if he saw something needed to be explained, he would explain it. So he said, فَقَدْ سَأَلْتِ اللَّهَ بِأَعْجَالٍ مَضْرُوبَةٍ وَأَيَّامٍ مَعْدُودَةٍ وَأَرْزَاقٍ مَقْسُومٍ. That, oh my wife, you have asked Allah for something that He has already determined the end of our life, and the amount of days we will live, and the risk, the sustenance we will receive. وَلَنْ يُعَجِّلَ شَيْئًا مِنْهَا قَبْلَ حِلِّهِ وَلَا يُؤَخَّرُ. And Allah will never bring something either earlier before its time or later after its time. وَلَوْ كُنْتِ سَأَلْتِ اللَّهَ أَنْ يُعِيذَكِ مِنَ النَّارِ وَعَذَابِ الْقَبْرِ كَانَ خَيْرًا وَأَفْضَلًا. But if you had instead asked Allah, instead of asking Him for a longer life with me as your husband, or your father, or your brother, my father-in-law, or brother-in-law, then instead it would have been better if you asked Allah to save you from the punishment of the grave. That would have been better for you. And then the last hadith, they bring a lot of hope, that we said Jannah, or we said hellfire, it hates the people who enter it, and heaven loves the people who enter it. So they actually have a role in our dua. Allah out of His mercy has made it such. وعن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ما استجار عبد من النار 7 مرات إلا قالت النار يا رب إن عبدك فلانا استجار مني فأجره. That the Prophet mentioned, no servant of Allah, no believing servant of Allah seeks refuge or being saved from the hellfire 7 times. 7 times. So you say, Allahumma ajirni min al-nar. Allahumma ajirni min al-nar. 7 times. Except the hellfire will say that, oh my Lord, indeed your servant so and so has sought refuge from me, so please give them refuge. SubhanAllah, how merciful Allah is. ولا سأل عبد الجنة 7 مرات إلا قالت الجنة يا رب إن عبدك فلانا سألني فأدخله الجنة. That no servant of Allah asks that for Jannah, that Allahumma inni as'aluka al-Jannah, Allahumma inni as'aluka al-Jannah. And the Prophet told us in another hadith, when we ask for Jannah, we should ask for Firdaus, because it is the highest of Jannah and the best part of it. So no person asks Allah for Jannah 7 times, except that the paradise, the heaven will say, oh Allah, indeed, oh my Lord, indeed your servant so and so asked of me to enter Jannah, so enter him into Jannah. So the last hadith will conclude is similar to the first one, except that it has a different number that we ask for. This hadith is mentioned in the Musnad of Imam Abu Ya'la. The first 2 hadith were in Sahih Muslim. The hadith of Habiba is in Sahih Muslim. The hadith of Ibn Abbas is in Sahih Muslim as well. The last hadith is by Anas bin Malik, may Allah be pleased with him, and he said, قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من سأل الله الجنة 3 مرات قالت الجنة اللهم أدخله الجنة ومن استجار من النار 3 مرات قالت النار اللهم أجره من النار. That the same reward or the same benefit is there for those who ask for heaven and those who ask for hell, but those who ask for refuge from the hellfire, those who ask for refuge from the hellfire, except instead of it being 7 times, this hadith says it is 3 times only. If a person does it 3 times, then that Jannah will ask Allah to enter you into him or into it, and if you ask refuge from the hellfire 3 times, then the hellfire will say, oh Allah, save him from me. SubhanAllah, this concludes our first day. We thank you for participating. Inshallah, we make dua. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts our fast, our standing in prayer at night, our charity, our feeding the fasting believers. هذا والله تعالى أعلى وأعلم وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.